Hello? 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 Can I stall for a little bit longer? Do I actually have to talk now? I hope not. Hello, everyone. Sorry, that might have been a little loud. Hello, and I'm guessing the people in the VOD question mark? How are you? Because I don't think there's anyone here right now. But for some reason, these videos or VODs are getting views. So if you're one of those people, first off, you are a VOD viewer and you are a loser. I'm sorry to tell you that. Loser, loser, loser. Why aren't you in the streams? You need to be here every day. VODs are like an additional thing. You should be in the stream and watching the VODs, like as a bonus to yourself, obviously. So, yeah, you might want to note that. I expect everyone to be here all the time, every time, whenever I go live. Just be kind of waiting all the time. That's kind of how I want to run things. So, if everyone could just get on board with that, I think it would just go a lot smoother, honestly. Anyways, so yeah, there's some Giga news. Let's just read the title. Giga news, Giga emotes, Giga plans, Giga me, and Giga you. So I don't know exactly why this happened, but for some reason, subs and I guess initial emotes for the channel have been activated? Question mark. I don't know if there is like some hidden like marker, or maybe just like stream every day for 3 weeks straight. It's like, okay, we'll just give him some like pity emotes, pity, whatever you want to call it. I don't know exactly what I would call that, but something pity, something has been pitied upon me. Somebody is pitying me. Anyways, so yeah, there is actually gonna be. I tried adding an emote earlier. I still have to go and obviously, to start, all the emotes are just going to be AI slop because, like I said in my bio, in case you didn't read it, well, one, I don't really have AI. I don't really have artist friends, and 90% of artists just I don't really care for. And you know what's funny also? It's all the problems I've had in this channel so far, are all the individuals have been quote unquote artists. Oh, yes, how are you? Oh, good, how are you? How's stream go? You like it? I don't know why I'm doing this accent, by the way. Accent was not supposed to be specific to any singular person, race, or whatever. In Minecraft, everything is. The accent was for a Minecraft character, obviously. But yeah, all the artists are the ones in here trying to get me, like, trying to pretend like, oh, how is your stream going? How are you? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, can I go to your Discord? Oh, by the way, can I just show you my art stuff, like, unprompted? And, like, they don't even do it in a way where they're trying to, like, sell it. They're just like, oh, hey, yeah, this is my art stuff. And then they're like, can I take your order, please? I don't normally it doesn't get that far. Normally I just like yep, or I just ignore them completely. So if you're out there, I still honestly can't tell if it's like a human doing it or I think it is because they're responding to voice sometimes. Whereas sometimes I noticed it's only text. Like if I don't respond in text in the chat, they'll just like immediately leave and unfollow. And yeah, so but sometimes they do respond to actual voice stuff. So, and I mean, it's not, it wouldn't be that hard for any of the AI today to do that. I mean, it would be trivial, but for someone to dedicate actual the resources Um, to do it in mass, I think is I don't know. I don't know if that's happening yet or not. I'm sure it won't be too much longer before it will be, if it's not already. I can never tell if this is loud enough. I don't know if my microphone is. Maybe I need to get it closer to my face. So yeah, if you're just joining or you skipped ahead in the VOD, we somehow have subs. We somehow have emotes. We somehow can do bits, and there's a lot of things that need to be set up now. But that's, I guess, the first step into quote unquote being a streamer, or quote. Yeah, I don't know how I was wording that, but I think you know what I meant. So yeah, that's cool. But like I was saying, all the emotes will be AI slop to begin with, but there is a particular artist um who actually does. Oops, can I copy this? No. Who does like this emote? Ferdy's Lab, I think it is. It they do a lot of big decks emotes, or some of them, and they're all like so fucking cute. I love them all, honestly. They are some of the best emotes that I've seen. TBH. But like the character I'm using is obviously, of course, AI generated as well, and I don't. I mean, I like the basic concept, but it's so super generic that I would rather have like a better interpretation of it, question mark, or something that's, I don't know, better than an AI can do. Like, an AI couldn't make this emote I posted in chat. It's just they're not like that yet. They just can't do it. Not that I want to like duplicate this emote exactly. I just really, really like the style they use. And this is a good example. So yeah. Also, additionally, I want to do some other stuff on the channel. I'm obviously going to be trying to do a variety of things. I don't want to be, and I've seen at least one particular person. I think it might have been a. I don't know if it was somebody trying to sell me something like a newsletter or something, a gaming newsletter. It's ridiculous, but they're like, "Oh, you should play one game, and then you can find." And I'm sure that works for some people. I don't want to be one of those one game. I hate using this word, Andes, but yeah, I don't. That's like the dumbest thing. I think after watching Twitch for, I don't know, like at least 10 years, I would much rather be doing variety, and I think it's way more stable to have long term streaming wise variety. Because if you just put all your time into one game and that game goes bye bye or disappears or the fan base falls off or if anything happens to it, it's like you're kind of fucked too. So I would much rather have people that are here for me, question mark, over some particular game. So hopefully I can be at least likable to an extent where some people might be able to stand me. I don't know. The cringe is still pretty strong, and my voice is still. I still kind of hate listening to it, which makes it hard. And I know part of that is just everyone hates their voice, but I'm not a good judge at the sound as far as like uh I don't know, tweaking the filters and stuff, because all I hear is my stupid voice still, and I can't give like a good like, oh, is this better or is this worse? Because it's still my voice and it's still like, oh, that's all I can hear. It doesn't. I don't know. I'm sure I'll get used to it, and this microphone definitely helps, but it's a thing that I'm still trying to work through. If I'm being honest and upfront with you. Let's see, what other? Oh, Giga plans. Yeah, like I said, I want to do variety. Sorry, there's like 10,000 mosquitoes in my room. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because I accidentally left the door open. For like an hour on accident. So mosquitoes got in here, and now there's a whole bunch of mosquitoes. And I've killed so many already. But I don't know. There's apparently more somehow. So that's another thing. I have mosquitoes in my room. I don't love it. I don't like mosquitoes. But back, I'm kind of rambling, but I mean that's all a streamer is, honestly. That's one thing I've learned from the little time I've been streaming. It kind of has made me look at other streams differently, and I guess that's just what happens when you start trying to do something yourself, or like you get into any area, I guess more specifically, or you have to do it yourself. I don't know. I guess I just said that a different way. But yeah, just how much some streamers just fill time with just stupid mannerisms or jokes, or like a good example is Moon. Just the whole meowing thing. It's just it's funny how, I don't know. It just seems like a content fill. Now that I've been doing streaming myself, it's like, oh yeah, I could just meow for 20% of my stream, and that feels like the voice, or having to have some noise, because that's another thing, is like how important just talking, or having something, some noise that people are listening to, is way more important than just actually video. Because that's how Twitch apparently determines if someone's actually watching, as if they're. I just killed another fucking mosquito. I think I killed it. As if they're muted or not, and I wasn't even aware of that like a month or so ago. It's just never a thing I even like considered, because I didn't have to. So yeah, audio is just, it's crazy important. So if you're just meowing for 20 minutes straight, then yeah, that's awesome content, and I'm gonna definitely take advantage of that and do it myself, because it's actually funny. I used to do that quite a bit. I had a cat for a long period of time, and for a long period of that time, I would actually talk to the cat in that way. Because how else are you supposed to talk to a cat except to meow to it in form of songs? Obviously, of course. Like I feel like it's just a given. It's just a given. If you own a cat, you're gonna be meowing to it all the time. That's just how things go. I don't. I'm kind of just rambling here. Uh, just going in different directions. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Like half the time. But Giga plans, other things that Giga plan adjacent. For the stream. More probably just chatting, question mark, for like if you read my bio, or whatever the fuck about stuff below, it does mention I was a programmer for quite a long time, actually quite a bit longer than the 10 years that's stated there, but professionally you could at least say that. And I would like to do a little bit more of that on stream. There's some cool things I think I've thought about. Also, I have like, and I've talked about this to some people. I don't know who the fuck is listening to this, and I know I'm gonna have to repeat things 10,000 times with streaming, as far as like, I don't know, just different questions and different things about me, about what I've done and did, and who I've done and did, and what I've. No, I've already said that part. When I've done and did, whatever. Things like that, I'm going to have to repeat quite a bit. I'll probably have to make some commands. And speaking of commands, yeah, I want to try making some interesting new commands. I actually have, let's see. Let me try something. Oh, maybe this is actually quite embarrassing. The thing that I thought might have been working is not working. That normally goes through a little a node server, if you know what that is. That is set up on my computer? Question mark. But it's not currently running? Question mark. Otherwise, that command should have worked? Question mark. I don't know why I keep saying question mark. But I would like to get into that a little bit more. There's some things I've been thinking about that could be cool to play with that I've never really seen done. And of course, some things that have been done already that I just think might be fun to do on stream. I don't know how interesting that would be for other people. Programming can be kind of boring, but also you can vibe code everything now. Vibe coding is the way of the future. Maybe. I don't know. It can do a lot of simple stuff, but like a lot of stuff I've done in the past, like specifically on the website I've worked on, I can easily look at chunks of the web or part of this like application essentially I've done and know for certain that AI couldn't have came up with these solutions I did just because they're like very specific and like high performance code. But I had to do some like kind of I don't want to say trickery because it's not really trickery, but some like low level stuff to actually make it work out and actually make it fast enough where it would actually work in a web browser. And I don't see, at least at this point in time, AI being able to just do that specific, like super high performance stuff and just very large projects. Like, for example, the website I've worked on, the client application alone is like 140,000 lines. And it's enough to kind of like break your brain. I've noticed when you try and do it by yourself, because I don't obviously do not remember. Most of the code is mine that I've wrote like manually. I feel like I have to say now, like that wasn't a thing you had to state a few years ago, but it was code I wrote manually, and yeah, it's completely changed now. AI is just popping out like certain segments of code, but it still cannot handle large code bases. It's just 140,000 lines. Like when you get to like 100,000, like every exponential is a different like ball game as far as like programming goes. Like 10 lines is going to look different from as far as like the organization and structure of your project and code is going to look way different than 100 lines, and 100 lines is going to look way different than 1,000, and 1,000 is going to look way different than 10,000 and 100,000 and a million. It's just every step up is just completely different, like new challenges you have to just identify. Like the organization just has to be way tougher, like managing and like stricter, because it gets to be impossible trying to keep track of everything, especially when like you're doing it as an individual. Like I like knowing I've done all this stuff because I just like know how I program to a certain extent, and other people program completely different from me, and I honestly trust my code better than I trust other people's. Um, a lot of people, they think they're good programmers, but then they have 10,000 bugs, and they just I don't know. It's very weird. I could talk a long time about just weird inconsistencies or things, quirks, I guess you might call. Um, like working at Hightail in a larger environment that had other developers and stuff like that, working on a team with other developers. It was absolute insanity there as far as how some of that stuff was set up and laid out. Craziness. But I could talk, and I've thought about way too much. And why not make some content out of it? So, yep, we might be doing some of that in the future. The programming stuff, and maybe just, I don't know, Q&A. Like, part of the advantage of the AI garbage slop that you can do is you can. Oh god, fucking another mosquito. Sorry. Like, I hate it. I fucking hate it when they touch my skin. Just get off me. Anyways, part of the advantage of having the AI garbage slop is you don't really have to know a super lot about programming or how to set up certain environments or things to get like something basic going. Essentially, like you can do a lot of stuff without having to know a lot of stuff. Basically, it gives you like the shortcuts and the like it just kind of just like boils the stuff down for you and can give you step-by-step directions, like if you need to like run a server, a node server on your computer or on a Linux VPS or any of that stuff, you know. There's all sorts of shit that just used to be way more difficult. Like one of the things with programming is when you come to very specific problems. This is one problem I had, at least. Very, very specific problems that you can't boil down to a simple Google search. That they're just like, it takes like several like sentences just to properly explain the problem. Like Google cannot handle that to any extent. It cannot understand like multiple sentences. Like maybe now it can, but before it could not. Because I definitely had some programming situations that I just could not like figure out a way to boil them down to something that was like actually Googleable. So it was like I was in like some weird situations where just the whole concept of like how to do in particular, the thing I was working on was an animation related thing, and I had to do with fucking splines and like how these spline points are generated, and the fact that the equation you use to generate them does not they're not equidistant like apart from each other when you like feed it like equidistant numbers. Like it'll jump around a lot, so you have to do a whole bunch of sampling of the numbers, and then you have to adjust all the numbers and create like these tiny micro adjustments to get like an animation properly, like to smooth over like a curve or whatever in like in a in a 3D space. It's even like I'm saying, it's kind of hard to explain it, especially yeah. If and I like barely had any like experience with how like the inner workings of programming animation stuff was like set up. So yeah. Anyways, I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about to get onto that. I'm just literally rambling, literally just yapping. I don't even. Hopefully, no one's listening to this because it's just madness and rambling. And if you are, it would mean again you probably are a dirty VOD watcher, and you should feel shame. Honestly, you should feel shame that you're not here listening to this live like you should be and interacting with all the cool chat people that are definitely here and definitely chatting without you. And that is definitely a thing that's going on. And you should not question it at all. And we're having a good time. And we're glad you're not here. So, how about that? How about that? I'm glad. I'm glad. You just probably ruin it for everybody. So, anyways, Giga plans. The future is looking giga bright. And everything is going to turn out giga, probably. I hope. We'll see. I don't know. You just never know what's going to happen. You never know. Could get hit by a bus tomorrow. Probably not, but you never know. I feel like I need to knock on wood now that I've said that. So yeah, maybe some other stuff like femboy adjacent related things. I don't know what in particular, but I'm sure we could figure some things out. Like, I've mentioned this to somebody else, but I do literally have a full size hot tub within like not even 10 feet from where I'm sitting, like outside my room. So that could be a thing, question mark, at some point, question mark. I don't know. That's going in a little bit different direction than I've been doing so far. But again, who knows? One thing I could say for certain is, like I said earlier, I'm like 3 weeks into streaming, so I don't expect any of this shit to be good or anything other than complete garbage. So yeah, it's just I'm basically just trying to put in the time and just be comfortable with talking for long periods of time, rambling, just yapping, because that's a half of streaming. It's just people white noising your voice. So you have to get just used to just rambling on and on and on and on and on. Or you can be like some other streamers. No, we won't mention any names. And just remain silent for long periods of time. 20, 20 minutes on end. Or fill 20 minutes of nothingness with meowing. Or Giga jokes. Or, fill in the blank. And I can definitely do that. I can definitely meow for 20 minutes on end. Like, I am not above meowing for money at all. If that's what I have to do, if I have to degrade myself to that level, so be it. Whatever. Everyone's going to be in the Matrix within 10 years anyways. That's my prediction. Rough prediction. At least 20 or 30. Like, definitely 30. There's no way we're still going to be in the physical world, I think, in 30 years. I don't think we're going to be. Like, I would say almost 100% 50. 100%. 50%, maybe 30 years. Maybe I would do, let's see. In 10 years, I would say there's a 5% chance of being in the Matrix. Essentially, the Matrix. And I can go on and on and on why I think that, but I won't right now because I feel like I've already rambled enough. Although I do still plan on rambling some more. So if there is people listening in the VOD or actually here, I don't think there's people here. Oh, I should probably get off stream starting. Actually. In oh yeah, cam. Hello. I have a camera. Let's change the camera a little bit. Also, the femboy ratio is not as much fem as I would like. I'm sorry. I hate my facial hair. That's all I'm gonna say. I fucking hate my facial hair. It is the bane of my existence, along with other hair related things. Are, as a femboy, the most annoying things in the fucking world. Because facial hair is so anti fem. It's like such a masculine defining feature that it's horrible. I don't know. I hate it. I fucking hate it. Like, some people don't care. Some people fucking lean into it. I hate it. I hate it. If I could just snap my fingers and never have facial hair again, I probably would. Although it is nice if you are leaning towards a masculine look, which I do pretty much all the time when I'm out in public. Just because that's what I am, naturally. In case people didn't notice, I am a naturally born male. Hopefully that's not a surprise to anybody. But I'm guessing most people can tell by my facial hair and by my voice and other features. It's just how it be. It's just how it be. So yeah, I don't even know how I got talking about this, but here we are. And that's how things go. That's how just chatting goes, I guess. Sometimes you just start talking about random things, and then you just keep talking about random things, and next thing you know, 47 minutes and 49 seconds go by. So, and some people want that. Some people just want to hear talking. Like I said before, and that's all I'm trying to do. And if you don't like it, go fuck yourself, San Diego. Is that joke still funny? What was that from? Anchorman? It was a good movie, regardless of how repetitive some of the jokes got, like, overused by some people. I feel like there's a very specific meme that overused that joke. That go fuck yourself joke. And now I kind of hate it. And I don't know why I just used it there. Let's see. What else can I ramble about? It's been 48 minutes. And unless you are a VOD viewer or hiding somewhere. Oh, yeah. I was wondering if Twitch doesn't technically count people that are muted as viewers. Could you just watch a channel muted without it actually ever, like, being recognized as someone watching? I don't know. It's kind of weird to think about. Something I never really cared or thought about before, but something I think about now, I guess, is what's happening. Also, yeah, so with this stuff, I see, like, subscriber numbers, which is 0, obviously. Even though they gave me a tier 3 sub to my own channel. So thanks for that, Twitch. I guess I'm jerked myself off that I'm a tier 3 sub, finally, to my own channel. Awesome. Amazing. And, oh yeah, so 0 subscribers, 0 sub points. Obviously. So that means at some point I will have, maybe, I guess, possibly, I could con somebody into subscribing. Or something adjacent to that. I don't know. At some point. They've made it very clear I don't ever get paid if I don't reach affiliate status, which, I mean, that's not that hard. I'm, like, obviously, not obviously, but more than halfway to getting that already. The requirements for that are very low. Partner is a little bit more, quite a bit more, actually. You have to be at a decent level to be getting partner. I think 75 average for however many streams. So, considering I'm at 1 viewer, and I think that's myself. Is my camera flashing? Hello? Oh yeah, I was gonna put on music. Let's turn this down just a little bit. Anyways, yeah, I want to get more comfortable just yapping. Just maybe hearing my own voice, because I fucking hate it still. And again, I know it just takes time to get used to. And maybe get myself into some sort of blah, 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 the YouTuber voice. I don't know, yeah, it's so weird. It's something else I just just watching other streamers, just noticing just stupid things that you fucking never even think about when you're just a chatter, just a viewer. Just, it's so weird how your view can shift that quickly. Just like, even though I'm not in what anyone would define as a streamer at all, I don't think just because you have a mic and have a live feed means you're a streamer. I don't know what you would define streamer as far as stat wise, but I ain't it. I can say that for sure. Unless you're listening or watching a VOD. And again, it's not, you don't count. I'm sorry, you're not human. You're probably an AI that's just training off my my data. So yeah, you know what? Go fuck yourself in that case. Fuck you, AI. I'm gonna feed you bad info so you come out all jacked up. I'm rambling. I somehow got talking about AI again. Also, can I just say? If I can get some fucking people in a chat room, it would be, just chatting might be way easier. Just chatting, is surprisingly difficult when you're just chatting by yourself. Literally, no one in chat, yeah. It's a little bit more difficult. You can't bounce off and read chat or go off anything stupid chat says. And there's a lot of advantages to having core individuals. It's another thing you notice, and I've noticed actually this before, but you know, just whoopsies, my microphone. The bigger your channel gets, the more you have these core individuals, not only that are in chat, but are just watching in background noise again. Because they're used to your voice, and you're like a lullaby to them, apparently. Not apparently, I mean, I do the same thing, so. It's just how it be for streaming. It just how it be. But another just how it be of streaming is, it just how it be that pretty much everybody sucks at the start. I don't think, unless you have experience on another platform, or unless you have some god tier skill for entertaining people, or you're a comedian or do some magic tricks or something, you're probably gonna suck. You're probably gonna suck for a long time. A very long time. Some people always suck. They never get good. And maybe that'll be me, I don't know. Probably not. I am probably gonna just be a god streamer. I mean, honestly. If I were TBHing right now, I would say god streamer in probably just a few months. I mean, because that's just typically how I roll, but, you know, maybe there's a slim possibility it'll be slightly below god tier. I don't know. We'll see. But I do expect it to be bad for a long time. And probably pretty fucking cringy. And that's, you know, kind of why you use the cringe tag. You gotta warn people at least. And just like I'm gonna try and label all the AI slop. Cause I have to use it, cause you can't just not use something. And I'm gonna fill that something with something. And that something will be most likely created by something that creates slop. And that's where we're gonna go. And that's how things are gonna be. So yeah. I don't even know if I'm presenting new information at this point. I think I'm just repeating myself in just different ways. What else? I feel like there's other things I wanted to say. There's some other commands I want to kind of add. There's definitely, like I said, the programming stuff. I have some cool ideas Like, for example, if we could just go into it, if I could just continue rambling, because, you know, why the fuck not? It's not like me playing a game is gonna be any different than me just fucking rambling. My gameplay is nothing. It's literally nothing. I'm not doing anything special. People are not watching that for the white noise factor, and probably never will. I probably, unfortunately, will never be a moon god tier gamer beating the god tier stuff on Terraria. Because, you know, I feel like that really did cement his god tierness as far as a gamer. Was the whatever the fuck thing he beat on Terraria. I can't even remember what the challenge was. It was Moon Lord on fucking whatever. And the fact that he even got to the Moon Lord this last time on whatever challenge that was kind of ridiculous, honestly. I don't know how he has the patience for that shit. I can't do it. I just don't have a lot of patience for some of those games. Like, for example, I don't know, and maybe I don't know, like, for example, Getting Over It. I bought that game around, like, when it came out, and I played for, like, probably less than 5 minutes, and that was after watching a whole bunch of other people play. And I was just, like, kind of proving to myself that I would not enjoy it, even though, like, all these other people were playing it and enjoying it. And I guess if you're a streamer, it could be just, like, brain rot content, like a lot of games are. Not to call out a specific one, but World of Warcraft is might as well be a slop game. WoW slop, WoW content slop. If anybody is listening that plays World of Warcraft, slop. Look at, and I say that in the way that you literally, there's just, all you have to do for content is just fucking do quests or a raid. It's like so, or dungeons, or it's just like so follow the fucking arrow, kill the mobs, get these items, just do the thing you're supposed to do content. It's so like turn off brain, do not think, head empty, and I mean that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. In fact, I enjoy that from time to time. But it can't always be like that. You have to do something sometimes, at some point, I feel. Maybe. I don't know. I don't fucking... Wait a second. What am I seeing right now on my screen? 0 bits, infinite channel points? What? Streamers get infinite channel points to their own channel? That's crazy. What the fuck? I didn't know I was gonna get that kind of benefit. I can redeem my own channel things for fucking free, essentially, as many times as I want? Jesus. Who cares about money? But I can just have infinite channel points. Jesus. Like, infinite gold. I feel like Uncle Scrooge in DuckTales with the giant bank of money. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Or hey, any VOD viewers out there, or mysterious hidden viewers and just chatting. Oh yeah, by the way, another fun just chatting fact. I don't know how the fuck anybody is getting off the bottom of just chatting. Is anybody getting off the bottom of just chatting that doesn't already have a huge following somewhere else? I don't think it's possible. And it's not even possible to, I feel like, get off most games, the bottom of the list. Unless you're just fucking lucky. It's just, it's crazy. Or you're viewbotting. I feel like so much of the fucking shit online incentivizes just doing shit the wrong way. like just doing stupid view botting type activities, like, because Twitch is not the only platform where that's a problem. I mean, Twitter is a huge problem. It's been a huge problem, and it only probably will continue to be a huge problem. And I know, like, a whole bunch of sites are, getting tougher on that shit because of all the AI stuff. But because I tried to, like, here's a fun thing. I tried to create a Facebook because I tried to obviously swoop up all the social accounts I could for this username, which is so fucking unique that literally no one has used it anywhere apparently. Can you believe that? Yet everyone's like, "Oh my god, your username is so good. I love your username." Blah 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 blah. Which definitely catches the eye if you know what it means. If you don't, it's just nonsense, which is kind of like cool with me. I don't have a problem with it. It was kind of like supposed to be targeted. I wasn't even sure if I was going to use it. And now that I am, the idea of being the face behind this username, the face of Futa Pansua, is kind of crazy to think about. Like, I don't know. It just... Part of me is already over whatever edginess that originally came with it. I'm already over it. Like, I see it, I hear it, I say it. I don't even, like... Whatever, like, oh, wow, like, that's so edgy. That factor that I felt initially, which I think other people get when they see it or read it, is, like, completely gone almost. It's just... I don't think about it, and sometimes I go into chats and don't think about it, and yeah, I think my chat messages stand out a little bit more than they did on the account I had before. Which, if you are, again, a disgusting VOD viewer, then you will have the privilege of knowing I do still actually have, I have a singular, I won't go into detail about anything else, other account that I used before this. I wanted this account just to be fresh, clean and clear, if I wanted to start streaming. So instead of doing a name change on the other one, although there was no real reason to try and use that account, except for, I don't know. There was a few things, but nothing really special that I care about, to be honest. So, might as well make a new one, a new fresh one. The only bad thing is you do have people that look at you, and understandably so, different when you have a new account. Like, there's a little bit of a security blanket for people when they can click on your username and see that your account is like 10 years old. You're a lot more trustworthy typically, and you're not going to be some sort of, I don't know, just people that have really new accounts typically, and you even notice this without being a streamer, just being a chatter and someone who is on Twitch a lot, people with new accounts tend to be way more trouble and just fucking retarded. I'm just going to say it, retarded. It's very noticeable. Very noticeable. And I kind of don't like that about this account because it is brand new. And it shows a brand new date like it should. So, that's something else I can yap about, and I just did. So, again, dirty VOD viewers. I'm not going to say the name, but obviously I had another account. If people were wondering, I didn't come into Twitch out of the blue. Like, I feel that's another thing. People that have been on Twitch a long time, like, they know Twitch. They know how Twitch works. They know how most chats work. They know how most streams work. And a lot of people don't get that. Like, a lot of people, and this is super noticeable. If you ever go to, I'm gonna give you like a starter pack. I'm a big YouTuber that sometimes streams on Twitch like once a month, so I can get some extra sub revenue from people that follow me, even though I only like actually stream once a month, and that's just to keep my subs rolling. Like, that person, their audience that is coming from YouTube that is normally not on Twitch, that whole channel and the whole vibe of that channel when the streamer goes live is just god awful. Like, if you're used to a typical Twitch channel, it's fucking horrible. I hate it. I hate it so much. You have so many of these people that are like, oh my, I can't believe I caught you live. Or, fuck, there's so many just repetitive, stupid fucking comments I've seen. I hate it so much, and I'm going to give a very specific example. I haven't really seen him forever. I don't know if I'll follow him anymore, but, and I definitely don't follow him on YouTube anymore, but for a small period of time, I was actually following and watching some Markiplier content. And I know some people still like him. I don't know. He has some funny stuff, but a lot of his content I just can't stand. A lot of his presentation, his demeanor, his what he puts out there, I just am not a huge fan of. I don't know, like, just how he presents himself. But I did at a few points, and there's been other YouTubers / I stream once in a great while on Twitch, people, channels, live streams I've been to, where it has these, I'm normally on YouTube, but I'm on Twitch for this, specific reason, people, and they're just so different than a typical Twitch channel of somebody that is like, it's their job, essentially. Like, for example, Moon or something. Like, his channel and his chat are so fucking different from the YouTuber chat. It's just like night and day. It's crazy how different it is. And even just any other channel that is just a full-time streamer, it's so different. I don't know how I got talking about this. But here we are, and I'm still talking, so I'm just gonna fucking just see how long I can talk. It would probably, I'm at 1 viewer, so it would probably be the same number if I was playing a game, so I don't really fucking care. I don't really feel like playing a game, I just feel like talking, so I'm gonna talk. If you have a problem with it, say something in chat right now. I dare you. If you don't, you're a fucking pussy. Say something, pussy. Do it. Nope, nothing. That's what I thought. So guess what? I'm just going to keep talking. And if you're a stinky, dirty VOD viewer, I don't care about you. I'm sorry. Get in the stream like a good chatter. You're not a good chatter. I want good chatters. I don't want dirty, disgusting VOD viewers. You might as well just be on YouTube at that point. And then what is the point of all of this? There is none. I don't want to be a YouTuber. I would like to be, or try to be, a streamer. If that was a question for anyone, still. That's what I'm trying to do here. That's what all of this is for. That's what all this yapping is for. Why the fuck else would I just be talking for over an hour now for no reason? Can you answer me that? With no chat? No chat to bounce things off of and read? That's not easy. Some people were blessed with, they got lucky. and they just jumped up from some singular event, from some singular thing, and they just boom, they instantly have like a whole bunch of viewers to start. It would be nice at least to just have like when you're starting. I think the worst part, like right now, I just don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be completely honest. If you're watching this VOD, I don't fucking care. I don't care. There's like nobody in here. It's impossible to get off the fucking bottom of just chatting. I could literally probably start playing porn and I would still be stuck at one viewer because no one would ever see the goddamn thumbnail. So it's like literally like an impossibility. And I accept that. I accept that's like how things are right now. I mean, there's just way too many fucking people that want to be a streamer. That's the fucking problem. And a lot of them, the vast majority of them, they suck and they will never be a streamer. They will never, ever be a streamer. And maybe, like I said, maybe I am one of those people. I don't know. I don't expect to be a streamer in this short period of time, though. That's for sure. The fact that I've had anything more than a singular viewer at all, I mean, I consider good. I consider, fantastic. There's at least 15. Yeah, maybe 10. Let's go with 10. 10 people that have followed that are actually human and that have actually, I think, followed for human reasons that aren't like related to trying to take money from me. So that's not bad. Out of, I don't know how many have seen. I would be curious to see like how many people are actually like seeing the thumbnails. I wonder if you can get that stat. Because it's gotta be like, I feel like it's gotta be a snowball effect. Like once you have viewers, you just start getting them more, at least to a certain point. I think there's thresholds. And from what I've heard, like around 100 people, and probably the low hundreds is a big threshold. Maybe around 1,000 is probably 1,000 or 2,000. The lower thousands is another big threshold. And then I'm guessing another big one is 10,000. I feel like it's almost kind of like how stocks work. If you've ever gotten to the stock market into any sort of detail at all, some of the technical analysis in certain aspects of the stock market kind of work like that. It's actually very interesting. How the stock market works at like a lower level. They're actually called levels, like levels of trading that goes on. Like it's not always just like, oh, I want to buy whatever 10 shares of Apple at the current price. Like the vast majority of stuff, like those orders, when you do that, when you're buying like 10 shares of Apple at whatever the current price is, you're filling like an order that's already out there, that's been sitting there for who knows how long, maybe 5 seconds, maybe 5 years. An open order that somebody else put out there that said, oh, I want to buy, or I want to sell at least 10 shares of this stock at least this price. And there's different mechanics. There's like, actually, it's kind of crazy how detailed. There's all sorts of mechanics that kind of govern how stock trading kind of works, as far as like you can have these like ratcheting systems that will basically say, oh, like I want to sell this stock if it drops like 10% below its current value, but also I want that value to ratchet up essentially. So if the stock price goes up, that sell price goes up with it. So let's say it goes from 10 to 20, then your sell price will be 10% of the $20. So you'll still keep all the gains a, like that were made before that, essentially, and without you having to do anything. That's kind of the main like feature of that. You can just put like an order in that will automatically do this without you having to watch it. That's the advantage of these like types of orders. I don't know why I'm talking into any detail of this. Just to talk. I think we've established that. I don't even know why I'm questioning it. Just to talk. If there's ever any question, or if anyone is questioning, I'm just chatting. I don't... the madness of talking to yourself and just chatting. I can feel it. I can feel the madness slipping over me, consuming me, filling me with the nothingness, the void. Yeah, something else I was considering. I really am very, very curious, just like what you can get away with on Twitch. I've never obviously been a streamer. I've never pushed the boundaries, and I'm not sure in like what ways you can. I don't like. There's obviously I don't want to break the rules, of course. Like John Twitch, if you're listening, I would never ever want to intentionally break the rules. But it's always kind of nice to know where the boundaries are. Like, I don't want to DMCA or get DMCA'd. So, I kind of looked into it and, just figured out you have to separate audio channels and make sure that certain audio isn't saved on certain audio channels so it doesn't get saved to the VOD. So you don't get those silent things added and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, things like that. I don't even... one of the hardest parts, I think, of just chatting for me is I start rambling about something. I think it's like this is kind of like my train of thought. Like my just chatting is like kind of like just like how my brain works half the time. I feel like just the madness that is rolling through my brain. And like my brain, I feel like I just go on insane tangents all the time. So I'll have an idea, and it's probably very much related to ADHD and probably just general autism. If I'm being completely honest. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. Definitely, probably those things. Yeah, I don't even know. Sometimes when I realize I'm on camera, I kind of pause and freak out for a second. And speaking of being on camera, again, I don't think anyone's actually watching this currently live. If you are, you're doing some weird trickery. Because it's showing one viewer. And so if anyone is hearing this, it's probably someone on the VOD. And yeah, I can't even preface what I'm going to say without like getting through the preface without forgetting what the fuck I'm going to say. I do know what I have to say, and I do have to run to the bathroom real quick, so I am going to actually take a short break. Blah, 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 blah. Goddamn, I have to piss so bad out of the blue. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. I'm actually going to not in the stream, but I'm gonna eat some food, and I'm gonna turn on. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. That might be double audio for a second. Oops. Oh shit. Stupid YouTube player. Hold on 1 second. I'm seeing if there's anything. Oh, what is this noise I'm hearing? What the fuck did I just hear? Sounded like, I don't know what the fuck that was. That was weird. I'm trying to look through my subscriptions on YouTube. See if there's anything decent on here. I'm tempted. I kind of hate what I'm about to watch, but but I kind of want to watch it. Okay. I'm gonna watch this stupid. I don't know. It's about, like, this channel is normally about, like, megalithic, prehistoric structures that the science community refuses to acknowledge. I don't know. It's very like conspiracy theory type, like, oriented, and I don't really like how they kind of push it like that. Let me change this text thing. I don't like how they kind of frame it like that, but they do show and talk about some interesting things that are uncovered that, I mean, we don't really have answers for. I mean there's quite a few things we don't have answers for, but we kind of just like, oh yeah, we're not sure, like, things we think started around here, but we don't really know if there's, like, other civilizations. That's the thing. Like, we could have gone through several, I feel like, periods of, this almost kind of sounds crazy, civilization. I don't know why I'm talking about this right now. I'm trying to eat some food, but yeah, several periods could have just, like, come and disappeared, and we would have never known, like, because all the evidence would have just been destroyed. Like, anything that isn't stone, essentially, just it's gone. And, like, anything organic is just lost completely in time. Pretty much everything is. Small break. We'll just put eating and watching video. So yeah, I'm gonna eat some food. We'll play this and
recorded history, there were advanced ancient civilizations capable of building gigantic megalithic structures we can't build today. lifting enormous stone blocks weighing thousands of tons and stacking them with
Sorry. See, it's like I fucking hate how they frame some of this shit. Again, like this that we can't build today. Like we haven't. It's impossible. It's like motherfucker. Have you seen the skyscrapers we're building? I'm pretty sure we could do it if we wanted to. Also, I think something they don't consider in a lot of these videos these people make when they push these weird ass theories is just how much time people had to do this shit. Like there was probably people whose whole life was just dedicated to like smoothing a couple like rock faces, like, and that was just normal back then. I don't know. But they're like, oh, this is just impossible. And it's like anything, you can do anything with enough time. It's like water created the fucking Grand Canyon. It's like, of course, a human could, or several generations of humans could do this shit. I hate how they frame that shit like that. But, anyways, there's a lot of that kind of bullshit in this video, or it will be, I'm sure.
laser-like precision. Blocks we still struggle to lift even with our modern cranes. They crafted mathematically precise, flawless monuments from the hardest stone on Earth, leaving us to wonder who these builders were and how they accomplished the impossible. Were they merely primitive societies, or were they masters of a forgotten technology lost to the sands of time? Uncover the evidence of an ancient, global, and technologically sophisticated civilization that once ruled over our planet, constructing gigantic sites the ruins of which are still standing, before a cataclysmic event erased it from memory. Access our ebook, Prehistoric Megastructures, a nearly 5. The unique rectangular engraving found on the entrances of many of these sites, from Turkey to Japan, can also be seen on the Ishi-no Hoden Kofun, which is an incredible megalithic structure located in Takasago. This ancient monument is carved from a single massive stone and is estimated to weigh around 500 tons. The monolith is quarried from a type of fine-grained bluish-gray granite, and as we said before, granite is one of the hardest materials on Earth. The structure is roughly cubic, with a flat top that some believe had some sort of purpose. What makes Ishi-no Hoden particularly intriguing is the precision with which it has been carved and shaped. The surfaces are remarkably smooth and flat, with clean, straight edges that suggest a high level of technical skill and meticulous planning. This level of craftsmanship indicates that the builders not only had the tools necessary to work granite, but also a profound understanding of stone masonry. The site is associated with several legends, one of which suggests that it floats above the ground. Historically, the site is believed to have been used for burial purposes by the local ruling class, as the complexity and number of the tombs suggest significant time, resources, and labor investment. The site's secluded location and the effort required to carve these tombs into rock faces indicate that this was a sacred area reserved for individuals of high status or spiritual significance. Strangely, similar sites can be found on other parts of the globe. One of the more remarkable tombs found in Japan is the so-called turtle tombs, also known as kamekobaka. These unique structures, predominantly found throughout the Ryukyu Islands, capture attention not only due to their unusual turtle-like shape, but also because of the profound architectural and historical significance they embody. The Okinawa turtle tombs are meticulously carved from limestone, a sedimentary rock prevalent in the region, which has been used extensively across Okinawa for various construction purposes due to its relative abundance and workability. The tombs are shaped to resemble a turtle's back. This design is not merely aesthetic but imbued with deep symbolic meaning, reflecting a reverence for ancestors and the belief in their continued presence and protection in the afterlife. The construction of turtle tombs involves a sophisticated understanding of stone carving. Each tomb is crafted to have a dome-like, rounded top with a flat underside that rests on the ground. Traditionally, the turtle tombs are thought to have originated in the 17th century during the flourishing of the Ryukyu kingdom. However, some scholars and historians propose that these tombs could be much older, possibly dating back to a prehistoric period or being the work of an unknown ancient civilization that once inhabited the region. This theory is spurred by the sophistication of the tomb's design and the advanced masonry skills required to construct them, which some argue may surpass the capabilities traditionally attributed to the Ryukyuans of historical records. These structures exhibit flawlessly polished surfaces and are meticulously cut, featuring perfectly precise 90-degree angles and edges. The weathering on the stone also suggests they are extremely old, leading to the belief that they were used by the people of the 17th century, but weren't actually constructed by them. Additionally, there are turtle tombs so ancient that they are barely recognizable, engulfed in earth and vegetation, suggesting they could be thousands of years older than mainstream historians believe. Strangely, these structures look very similar to the Quenuani structures in Peru. The design looks remarkably identical. During the fierce conflicts in Okinawa between Japanese and U.S. forces in World War II, records indicate that both locals and soldiers sought refuge within the turtleback tombs, which subsequently became strategic points of contention in the battle to control them. This showcases the strength of the massive constructions. Regardless of their true origins, the turtle tombs remain a vital part of Okinawa's heritage and are revered as sacred sites even to this day, with people continuing to construct tombs for their relatives in similar designs. And speaking of tombs, you should know that the entirety of Japan is filled with thousands of tombs, most of which are unexcavated. These tombs, or kofun as they are known, vary significantly in size, shape, and construction method. The most common shapes are keyhole-shaped, circular-shaped, and square-shaped. The keyhole-shaped kofun, which is unique to Japan, is particularly fascinating. It combines a square front and a circular rear. These keyhole-shaped tombs were constructed with remarkable precision and attention to detail. They are vast, island-like structures encircled by a moat, with some featuring several smaller moats. In Sakai City, in particular, there is the Mozu Kofun group, which consists of more than 100 burial mounds spread across a large area. The largest and most famous of these is the Daisen Kofun, which measures around 1,600 feet in length, which is 490 meters. This makes the surface area of this tomb bigger than the surface area of the pyramids of Giza, and makes the Daisen Kofun the largest tomb by area in the world. The creation of this tomb was estimated to have taken 2,000 workers who worked a continuous 16 years to finish it, after removing 1.6 million cubic meters of soil. According to the local legend, to construct a kofun, people would work during the day, while the gods worked at night. Despite their massive size, little is known about the kofuns. Because kofuns are associated with Japan's mythological first emperors, archaeologists are not permitted to excavate or even enter most of these sites. For this reason, these ancient tombs remain shrouded in secrecy, guarded closely by the Japanese government and the Imperial Household Agency. The limited knowledge available only heightens the sense of fascination surrounding these keyhole tombs, leaving us yearning to uncover what's hidden inside them. As for the gigantic Daisen Kofun, it is believed to be the burial site of Emperor Nintoku, one of Japan's legendary emperors. However, this theory is mainly based on an ancient text which reads that, among 5 kings sleeps the Emperor Nintoku. However, This text was written hundreds of years after the actual construction of the Kofun, so who or what's truly inside is still a mystery. The global significance of the Kofun tombs was highlighted when the Mozu Kofun Group was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2019. This recognition underscores the importance of these tombs not only to Japanese history, but to the broader understanding of ancient civilizations. The restricted access and limited archaeological excavation of the Kofun tombs in Japan have given rise to various conspiracy theories and speculations. Some believe that the Kofun holds advanced ancient technologies or knowledge that modern authorities want to keep secret. Interestingly, there are many keyhole ancient structures and depictions all across the world. It's clear that this symbol had a profound meaning across these cultures. There are the keyhole tombs found in Sardinia, although they are a bit different. These tombs are characterized by their elongated burial chambers with a distinct keyhole-shaped layout, similar in shape but different in function and construction to the keyhole-shaped Kofun tombs in Japan. This keyhole tomb is attributed to the Nuragic civilization, which is one of the Mediterranean's most ancient cultures that existed around 4,000 years ago. Another keyhole structure can be found in Egypt at the Kam Ombo Temple, which is famous for the mummified crocodiles found there. This architectural innovation was called the Nilometer and was used to measure the Nile River's water level during its annual flood cycle. It consisted of a single vertical column marked with graduations and submerged in the river. The markings allowed observers to read the water level as it rose or fell against the column. Another keyhole ancient marvel is the Saudi Arabia geoglyphs. The keyhole geoglyphs in Saudi Arabia are part of a fascinating and enigmatic group of archaeological features known as the Works of the Old Men, which spread across the deserts of the Arabian Peninsula. They are typically constructed from stone and are thought to be around 2,000 to 9,000 years old, dating back to the Neolithic period. Their function and purpose are still unknown. There are many more keyhole structures and depiction that in different ways resemble the Japanese Kofun tombs. However, there's another site, which unlike the keyhole structures we showed you so far, doesn't resemble, but looks like an exact copy of the Japanese Kofuns. But there's a twist. This site is not located on Earth. In 2016, researchers studying high-resolution photos of the surface of Mars spotted an eerily similar keyhole-shaped mound. The structure displays extraordinary symmetry, and what's shocking is that there aren't any large geographical features anywhere near this structure. The enigmatic structure visible on numerous satellite images of the Red Planet displays staggering similarities to the ancient Japanese Kofun tombs. Many UFO researchers agree and claim that the structure identified on Mars probably went through millions of years of erosion, but it's clearly visible. Shape is a definitive telltale sign of the possibility of an ancient civilization that inhabited Mars thousands, if not millions of years ago. These seemingly outlandish theories are actually supported by Japanese mythology, which is rife with tales that could be interpreted as encounters with extraterrestrial beings. In fact, the first emperor of Japan is considered to be a descendant of a celestial god. And in Shinto, the indigenous religion of Japan, there are numerous deities known as kami, which are described as interdimensional beings descending from the sky. Perhaps the most cited example in discussions about ancient alien theories in Japan is the Taketori Monogatari, also known as the Tale of Princess Kaguya. This 10th century narrative is considered Japan's oldest prose narrative, detailing the life of a mysterious moon child, Kaguya Hime, who is discovered inside a glowing bamboo stalk. As the story unfolds, Kaguya Hime grows into a woman of uncommon beauty, eventually revealing that she is from the moon and must return to her celestial family. The descriptions of her celestial origins, her return to the moon in what could be seen as a spacecraft, and the heavenly entourage that comes to retrieve her are often interpreted by alien theorists as an allegory for extraterrestrial visitation. In fact, there's a 7,000-year-old ancient rocket ship cave carving found in Japan. It is still a mystery how ancient people were able to carve a petroglyph that looks identical to a modern rocket ship. The most famous UFO encounter in Japanese history happened 220 years ago during feudal times. In 1803, during the late Edo period on the shores of Harayadori in Hitachi province, local fishermen witnessed a perplexing sight. An unusual craft was seen drifting toward the shore. This object, covered in small metal plates reminiscent of the heat-resistant tiles used on space shuttles, eventually washed ashore, sparking curiosity and astonishment among the locals. The design of this craft was extraordinary, as it had glass windows in its upper section, likening its appearance and construction to technologies not seen until the modern era. As the crowd gathered around the mysterious vessel, a hatch opened, and from within emerged a young woman. The woman had a distinctive red hair and eyebrows and held a mysterious box. She was dressed in strange, unfamiliar garments and spoke an indecipherable language. Inside the craft, onlookers discovered writings resembling hieroglyphs, a type of script completely unknown to them. This story of the Utsuro Bune, as the craft came to be known, appears in 3 different ancient Japanese texts. Considering that these texts are historical, for many in Japan, this tale is viewed not just as folklore, but as a potential historical encounter with what some might deem a celestial visitor. Today, there are museums in Japan that even show a recreation of the vehicle encountered in 1803, although they refrain from calling it a UFO. Perhaps the most famous prehistoric megalithic structure linked to ancient extraterrestrials is the Masuda no Iwafun, which translates to the rock ship of Masuda. This incredible megalith weighs 800 tons and is carved from a single piece of granite. Strangely, it doesn't resemble any other architecture in Japan. Many believe it is some kind of representation of the celestial vesicles of the gods, but to this day, no one knows who carved or placed it there. On the other 3 sides, trellis-shaped chisel marks can be seen close to the ground. Because granite is known to be difficult to carve, even with modern tools, this sculpture fascinates specialists and scientists who consider it a technical wonder. On the north side of the structure, there is a square scale-like pattern. The most popular theory about the stone's construction is that it was used as an astronomical observation point. Its orientation alignment with the slope suggests that the monolith may be linked with the Japanese lunar calendar and to the first astronomical observations. However, some experts disagree with this. With no conclusive information regarding the significance of this enigmatic stone structure, the whys and wherefores of its existence remain a mystery to this day. But if there was an advanced ancient civilization tens of thousands of years ago, would the first and oldest known civilization in Japan know something about them? The Jomon culture, which dates back to around 14,000 BC, are considered the first people to inhabit what is now Japan. The Jomon people were predominantly hunter-gatherers, though they also engaged in early forms of agriculture, and considering the era in which they existed, we can agree they were very primitive. They didn't have clothes and instead used animal skin. For this reason, the various dogu figurines created by them are quite unusual. These figures are depicted wearing sophisticated costumes and garments that resemble armor. How could such an intricate costume or armor have been imagined in a culture where clothing wasn't made from anything but hides? The strange thing is that similar figures were found all across Japan. Given the sparse population, estimated at only about 250,000 at its peak, and the limited modes of transportation, primarily walking, it is intriguing how such a specific image became commonly accepted among people who were barely in any contact with each other. This widespread acceptance might indicate that the staring dogu might have been based on something all of these ancient people actually saw. But considering these beings look like extraterrestrials with their bulging eyes and exaggerated proportions, together with their costume which looks like a spacesuit, it makes you wonder, how is this possible? But there are other strange figures, like the so-called reptilian statues, which date back to the Asuka period around 6th century AD. They look very similar to the 7,000-year-old Ubaid statues from Mesopotamia. There is no definitive explanation for why these statues have reptilian features, but we know well that reptilian humanoid figures are depicted all across the world. If these figurines represent a long-lost ancient civilization, this means that this civilization existed more than 15,000 years ago, in a prehistoric era before the Ice Age. This was a time so ancient that the sea level and the waters surrounding Japan weren't even there. But does that mean there may be more megalithic structures on the seabed near Japan? In 1986, a local diver named Kihachiro Aratake was scouting for a good spot to observe hammerhead sharks. As Aratake explored the waters, he encountered massive underwater rock formations with sharp, precise angles and fine edges that struck him as too unusual for a natural formation. Intrigued by the geometric nature of the rocks, he noticed that they resembled architectural structures, complete with terraces, steps, and flat surfaces that mimicked the appearance of step pyramids and other ancient man-made constructions. The site became known as the Yonaguni Monument, named after the southernmost of the Ryukyu Islands in Japan where it was discovered. The site's largest and most famous structure, which resembles a stepped pyramid, extends some 90 meters at its base and rises to a height of about 25 meters. Realizing the potential significance of his find, Aratake alerted marine scientists, including Professor Masaki Kimura of the University of the Ryukyus. Kimura, along with other researchers, began a detailed investigation of the site, which led to further discoveries of the monument's features, including columns, roads, and what appeared to be cross-shaped formations, all suggesting the possibility of an ancient, submerged, man-made site. Dr. Kimura argues that the monument could be the remains of a 10,000-year-old city, submerged at the end of the last ice age due to rising sea levels. According to his research, the formations on Yonaguni show evidence of human modification, such as the deliberate carving of the rocks, consistent spacing and dimensions of structural features, and the presence of what he interprets as roads, ceremonial centers, and perhaps even large-scale water management systems. Dr. Kimura's hypothesis is supported by comparisons to known ancient constructions, particularly those involving large stone blocks or megalithic architecture, such as those found in ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, and Central America. These comparisons are used to argue that the skills and technologies required to create a site like Yonaguni might have been available to a prehistoric civilization with advanced engineering knowledge. Nevertheless, the established archaeological institutions deemed the site a natural formation, made entirely by nature. But how is this possible, considering there are straight lines, steps, and sharp edges, all with exact 90-degree angles? The region around Yonaguni has a rich history and mythology that includes legends of lost continents and great floods, similar to flood myths found in many cultures around the world. These stories, passed down through generations, sometimes speak of ancient cities and civilizations that were swallowed by the sea, lending a mythical allure to the idea that Yonaguni could be a remnant of such a lost world. One such story is the lost, ancient kingdom of Yamatai. It is believed to have been a vast and powerful nation that disappeared from history as rising sea levels submerged its cities beneath the ocean. Yamatai was reportedly governed by a mysterious sorceress named Himiko. Its exact location has never been identified, nor have the causes of its vanishing been understood. Interestingly, the existence of Yamatai has been confirmed by historical documents from 300 AD. Records even mention their queen, Himiko, dispatching an envoy to the Chinese emperor. It's theorized that tectonic movements in the region may have led to Yamatai being engulfed by the sea. Despite the fascinating theories of a man-made origin, the Yonaguni Monument is the subject of ongoing debate among scientists. Some geologists and archaeologists argue that the monument's features can be explained by natural geological processes such as tectonic activity, which is common in this seismically active region. They point out that sandstone, which makes up the monument, is prone to
This video is
fracturing and
almost over.
erosion in patterns that can mimic man-made
2 more minutes.
structures. However, the theory that the Yonaguni Monument might be man-made is not without its merits and continues to be a subject of intense research and exploration. The precise angles and the seeming organization of the structure suggest that further investigations are needed to fully understand the origins and nature of this underwater enigma. There are many more unexplained structures and mysteries we found during our research, which we won't be able to scope into this video. We journeyed through the dense forests and coastal waters of Japan to uncover remnants of an unknown civilization that once mastered the landscape, both above and below the sea. These structures suggest a sophisticated knowledge of engineering, astronomy, and geology, indicating that the people who built them had capabilities that far exceed the traditional view of prehistoric societies. As we close this exploration, the revelations we've encountered compel us to reconsider not just the history of Japan, but the very narrative of human civilization.
I'm sorry. These fucking. I hate. They always frame this shit like. Oh, God. Mainstream science. They just won't believe it. They just keep. It's a conspiracy, man. They're trying to keep the megalithic structures. They know. They know there's something there, but they just don't want to admit it. I don't understand like what they think they're like gaining from trying to keep this stuff like some super secret or something. It's so dumb. I mean, it's interesting to see like these structures, but I don't know. I fucking hate how they always frame. This channel is just super bad about it. Super bad. Just about like, just they frame. It's kind of like geared towards like people that are basically retarded. Like, I just don't know how to say it any other way. There's a lot of retarded people out there, and I bet you if I scroll down, there's a lot of them in the comments here. The very first one: pre-flood humans were far more advanced than we can ever hope to become. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Calling ancient civilizations primitive is a perfect example of modern failings. Calling for pre-flood humans were far more advanced than we can ever hope to become. I'm sure they were. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure they were. Far more advanced. I'm sure. Then why didn't they? You know what? I mean, it's funny how they say that, but isn't like I know there's probably like a million different ways you can technically prove there wasn't, but like isn't like radiation like before we dropped the nuclear bomb? I think that like basically contaminated everything. So we can, I think, safely say that if there were past civilizations, they at least either didn't get to radiation or not radiation, but like nuclear technology, or they never dropped a bomb. Because otherwise, I think the radiation would still be here. I think that's how that works, but I'm not 100% sure. But, anyways, yeah, these comments are just ridiculous. The people that get into this shit like super deep are just fucking, I don't know, crazy. Man, my throat feels like super itchy for some reason. I think that's it's probably good though. Actually, for this stream, we're at a little over 2 hours. Had a little bit of video, a little bit of talking. I was yapping for a fair amount of time, at least an hour straight, a pure yap. So, man, I think I can feel it in my throat already too. Whew. But yeah, lots of cool things going on. I'm gonna try and get some more emotes set up, badges, and then yeah, we can get some subs maybe going. We can start shilling subs, and all that fun stuff. Maybe actually like afford to buy some ramen noodles. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But yep, I think that's gonna do it. For any invisible people that are lurking somehow in the background, and for any of the disgusting, stinky VOD viewers, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. It's been, I think, 21 or 22 days straight of streams. I think a little bit each day. I'm getting better. A little bit, tiny bit. Maybe I'll be tolerable in like 5 years. I don't know. We'll see. Anything's possible. But yep, 3 weeks I've been doing it every single day for a little bit. So it's been interesting. I'm I'm glad I've been able to keep the consistency going. It just I've done this before with other things like exercising, and it just kind of makes it that much worse when you end up ultimately breaking your streak. Whenever that does happen, it just feels a lot worse. So when you've just got a huge amount of time added up, so that's the downside of it. But it is kind of nice being on those streaks. So, but yep, that's it. Thank you to everybody that is here or listened or tolerated me for any period of time at all. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.